Hi everyone, my name is Nate Bristow. I'm entering my 5th year in my PhD program as a PhD candidate, and I'm in the mechanical engineering department. So first off, I just want to say thanks again to Kate and Mark and John for all your guys' input on the program over the course of the year. The main thing I wanted to talk about was my my practicum experience, which involved mentoring an undergraduate in our lab. So I've never been a mentor to an undergraduate before. I've actually, in my time in our lab, we never actually had an undergraduate in the lab. So it was all a pretty new experience for me. And so I chose as my practicum for the year to take on the challenge of mentoring an undergrad. And as some of you might be aware, some of you maybe have had undergrads in your lab, it's challenging at times to have an undergrad beneath you. For me, there were two key things that really challenged me as I tried to mentor my undergrad. The first is setting the foundation for the relationship that you're going to have with the person that you're mentoring. The impression that you give the person and the way that you set up the relationship that you're going to have with them, the dynamic that you're going to have between you. One of the things that I found in my experience was that it involves both the open conversations that you have with them, but a lot of also nonverbal cues, the way that you guys are setting up your interaction. And one of the aspects of this program is that we did a workshop in practicing improv skills. One of the really interesting things that we did that I hadn't really thought about before was practicing the concept of going high into an interaction or going low. In your conversation with someone, maybe in an interview or at a conference, you can posture yourself both physically or in the tone that you set. You can posture yourself in a certain way to win the interaction, to get your desired outcome. And that can either take the shape of going high or going low. And although this came after my initial experiences with my undergrad, looking back on that experience, the things that we learned through the improv skills training was really beneficial. The idea of really being intentional in how I posture myself and how I interact with the undergrad. For me, I wanted to be approachable with my undergrad, but I also wanted, there to be a certain level of hierarchy where he would respect me and we'd actually get work done and be effective in that way. So this was one of the things that directly came out of the LSTEM program that I think will really benefit me going forward. The other aspect of mentorship that really stuck out to me over the course of the year is trying to strike the balance, the appropriate balance between being hands-on and hands-off. It's I guess the most typical challenge that a mentor will face. How involved should I be with my undergrad? Do I engage them every day? Do I tell them exactly what they need to be doing each day? When do I back off and let them learn things on their own? And it's really difficult to do that, but one area of the LSTEM program that we focused on, which was helpful in this regard, is emotional intelligence. And this was an area that was completely new to me. I hadn't had any exposure to that whole area before. But being able to read the emotions and the needs of the person that you're mentoring is really, really important. It complements, the direct conversations that you need to have with them. Yeah, you need to get direct feedback. You need to engage with them in a very direct way. But the more subtle skills involved, particularly with some of these areas of self-expression and interpersonal skills and your own self-perception, is really important for having an effective mentor-mentee relationship. The last aspect of the LSTEM program that was really beneficial to me was the peer mentorship groups that we had. And so, like I said, because this was my first experience with an undergrad, I hadn't had prior experiences that could inform how I was going to engage this student. And every mentor and mentee relationship is different. And so having the others in my cohort and my peer mentorship group help me with that and provide their input and their feedback was really, really helpful. And so for me, the next step that I have in mind for my career is to stay in academia and hopefully pursue some kind of faculty position, and that typically involves advising undergrads, advising grad students in particular. And so in that sense, this whole year's experience was really beneficial for me in getting some practice with that, but then also gaining just the knowledge base in terms of things like emotional intelligence and improv skills, which was a little bit different for me, but all the while it was still very beneficial. So yeah, I just want to thank you three here again for all your help, and for my cohort for all your guys' input. Thank you.